So for today we are going to continue from where we stopped in our mathematics, and we stopped at fraction. We talked about LCM and also how to identify a big fraction, a small fraction, how to add fractions, how to subtract fractions. So today we are going to move to more operations on fractions. And what we are going to be looking at today is something that actually we should have done it before from our junior secondary schools or even from our primary schools. We call it Bodmas. They call it Bodmas. Now, so Bodmas is just what you use to arrange the order of your operations. So the different operations we have in mathematics, you can have division, you call them operations. You can have multiplication, this is also an example of an operation. You can have addition, this is an operation. You can have subtraction, this is also an operation. And you can also have order. Now this order, we also call it power. So there are some cases that you are going to have maybe 2 raised power of 3 now. So this is also an operation, which also looks like multiplication. But we are not going to go into that now. So just know that these are the different operations that we have in mathematics. And for each of these operations, we know what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to divide, you know what you should do. When you want to multiply, you know what you should do. When you want to add, you know what you should do. When you want to subtract, you know what you should do. But where we are going to be having problem is if all of these operations or more than one of them exist in the same expression, then how are we going to arrange the order in which we are going to carry out that particular series of operations that we are given? Now, so let's start with this. So what this means is you just follow this arrangement. If you have a bracket, that means you have to simplify what you have inside the bracket first. If you have off, sometimes they use the word off, which is the same thing as multiplication, but it doesn't matter. So when you have off, you do that first. So you just be checking this one after the other. If there is bracket, do it. If there is no bracket, check if there is off. If there is off, do it. If there is no off, check if there is division. Check if there is multiplication, but make sure that it is addition and subtraction that you do last. Now another interesting thing that I want to show you is that the way they follow one another like this division, multiplication, you can do any one first. It's not necessarily compulsory that you do division before multiplication, and it's not compulsory that you do multiplication before division. Once you have both division and multiplication, you can do any one first. The same thing with addition and subtraction. Whenever you're having addition and subtraction, you can do any one first. If you like, you can add first. If you like, you can do the subtraction part before you do the addition part. Now there is something that is very important that we must know. There's another thing that is very important that we must know, which is how they use division in mathematics. Now division can change to multiplication in math, and also multiplication can also change to division. You are supposed to know that multiplication can change to division, and division can also change to multiplication. A good example, let's say you are given 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 2. What do? You change this division to multiplication, but whenever you are changing division to multiplication, you reciprocate the number that follows that particular sign, which is this division. So you reciprocate this number. What I mean by reciprocating it is that the number below, which is the denominator, will become the numerator, while the numerator will become the denominator. So that means for this 1 over 2, you leave it as 1 over 2. Then the division will turn to multiplication. Then the other 1 over 2 will become 2 over 1. Now, by the time you multiply this, now when you want to multiply fractions, you multiply numerators, then you multiply denominators. So when you multiply the numerators, you have 1 times 2, which is 2 over, you multiply the denominators, you have 2 times 1, which is also 2. So you have 2 over 2, which is 1. What if you are asked to divide 4 by half? This is going to become 4 multiplied by, don't forget that you are changing the division and the next number. So that will be 4 multiplied by 2 over 1. So now how do you multiply this? Since 4 is not a fraction, how do you multiply it with 2 over 1? That is a fraction. You don't need to disturb yourself. Just change it to 4 over 1. So 4 over 1 is the same thing as 4. Then you carry out the normal process. You multiply 4 by 2, that will give us 8. You multiply 1 by 1, that will give us what? 1. So you have 8 over 1, which is 8. Now, so that's how we go about multiplying and dividing fractions. Let's say, for example, there are some times that you also have to be smart. Let's say you have been given um 18 over 36, and you are asked to multiply it by 1, maybe 4 over 10. Now, instead of disturbing yourself and doing the multiplication directly and saying 18 times 4, which is probably going to give you a large number, the easiest way to approach this is, first of all, try to reduce the fraction. Try to see if you can reduce the fraction. Is there a common number that can divide this? Or is there a common number that can divide this? If you can't find, is there a common number that can divide them across? You first check for numerator, denominator. If there is a common number, you divide. You check for numerator, denominator. If there is a common number, you divide. Now you can also cross check, in the sense that you check this in numerator and you check this denominator and see if there is a common number. Then you also check this denominator, you check this numerator and see if there is a common number. Now, working with only this single fraction, there is a common number. 9 can go here twice, 9 can go here 4 times. Then you have 2 here 1, you have 2 here 2. So which means 18 over 36 is actually 1 over 2. Then you do for this also. So 2 here is 2, 2 here is 5. So 4 over 10 is actually 2 over 5. So when you multiply, what are you going to have? You are going to have 2 over 10. Now look at that. Now this is what I was saying. Now instead of doing 2 over 10, if you check this, you see that this numerator is divisible by this denominator. So you always divide. When you want to cut, you always cut numerator with denominator. Don't go and cut numerator with numerator. So this is a numerator and this is a denominator. So you can also cross check instead of checking on one side. So 2 can go here and 2 can go here. So what are we left with? We are left with 1 over 1 multiplied by 1 over 5. So our answer is going to be 1 over 5. So as you can see, it is very simple. It's something that is very simple to do. Let's say we have been asked to do 4 over 9 divided by, let's say, 16 over 81. How are we going to do this? We do the same thing. Now we say 4 over 9, you change this to multiplication, multiply by this, will become the reciprocal. That will be 81 over 16. Now, you check the numerator and the denominator, are they divisible? No. Come here to check the numerator and denominator, are they divisible? No. Now cross check the numerator here and denominator here, are they divisible? Yes. So that means you say 4 here 1, 4 here 4. Now check the numerator and denominator of these two, are they the same? Are they divisible? Yes. So 9 here 1, 9 here 9. So what are we left with? We are left with 1 over 1 multiplied by 9 over 4, and that is going to give us 9 over 4. You do 1 times 9, which is 9, then you do 1 times 4, which is 4. So that's going to be the solution to this particular question. Now let's now look at when we are having lots of them, when they are combining the different operations, and see how we can go about it. So let's see. Let's say we have been asked to do let's say we are asked to do 5 whole number 1 over 2 plus 3 over 4 multiplied by 12 over 27 minus, let's say we have 4 whole number 2 over 5. Now how are we going to go about this? Now you check the signs that we have. We have addition, we have multiplication, we have subtraction. Then you check the rules. We are using BODMAS. Now out of those ones that we have, which ones are the ones that apply that appear first? You see that addition and subtraction are last. So that means that you don't touch this, you don't touch this. You do which one first? There is multiplication here, and multiplication comes before addition and subtraction. So that means that you do the multiplication part first. Now where is the multiplication part? You pick the two numbers that are on the sides of the multiplication like this. I hope you understand this. So you pick these two numbers that the multiplication is connecting. You leave this with the plus, you leave this with the minus. You don't touch them at all. You only do this one that the multiplication is connecting the two. Now since we are not touching this, we are still leaving it as 1 over 2 plus. Now this is the one we are touching. So what you do is you look for, is this the numerator divisible by this? Yes, 3 can divide. So you just say 3 here, that is 4. Then 3 here, that is 9. Now you have not finished dividing, because this numerator can also divide this denominator. So you say 4 here is 1, you say 4 here is 1. Then this numerator can also divide this denominator. So you say 3 here is 1, 3 here is 3. So that means that you are left with 1 over 1 multiplied by 1 over 3, then minus 4 whole number 2 over 5. Don't forget to put your equal to. Now this, you change it to an improper fraction. It becomes 5 times 2, which is 10 plus 1. That is 11 over 2 plus, you multiply 1 times 1, that is 1. You multiply 1 times 3, that is 3. Then minus, you change these two to an improper fraction. So you have 4 times 5, which is 20 plus 2, that is 22 over 5. Now, so what's the next thing we are going to do? Now this has reduced to the normal thing that we know, which we just do what? We just find the LCM. Now, if you pick them 3 at a time, they don't have a common divisor. If you pick them 2 at a time, maybe 2 and 3, or 3 and 5, or 2 and 5, there is no number that can divide. So the easiest way to just find the LCM in this case, since there is no common factor, is just 2 times 3 times 5. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30. Or you can first of all do 2 times 5, that's 10, then 10 times 3 is going to give us 30. Now we have 11, you open a bracket, plus 1, you open a bracket, minus 22, you open a bracket. So now you say, how many 2 can we find in 30? That is what? 15. How many 3 can we find in 30? That is 10. How many 5 can we find in 30? That is 6. So let me try to remove this. Now, so we are going to have 11 multiplied by 15. That's going to be 165 plus 10 times 1 is 10 minus 22 times 6. Now 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 11 is 132. So you have divided by 30. Now what's this going to give us? Now look at this. We still have addition and subtraction, right? So I have said it that we can do it in any order. If you like, we can first do the addition, then do the subtraction. But the easiest way to go about this is to do the subtraction first. Now don't forget that this addition is for this 10 and this subtraction is for this 132. So which means if you like, you can say 165 minus 132, get the answer, then add 10. If you like, you can say 165 plus 10, get the answer, then subtract 132. So those are the different ways you can do it. If you like, you can say 10 minus 132, get the answer, then add 165 to it. So any way you decide to go about it, you are still going to get the same answer. So if you say 165 plus 10, that is 175. Then you say 175 minus 132 over 30. What's this going to give us? So we're going to have 100, we cancel out. 70 minus 30 is 40. So we have 43 over 30. Now this is going to be one whole number because 30 can go in 43 only once. So we have one whole number. Then we are going to be left with 13 over 30. So this is going to be our final answer. Although I'm not sure, but that should be it. We're going to have one number, 13 over 30. So this question is actually very simple, and I assure you these are the first questions that you are going to meet in any WAEC exam that you do. That will be question number 1 in both the objective and the theory part. Those are the questions they usually put at the beginning. So let's see if we can find another one. So there's this question. So we have one whole number, 2 over 5 multiplied by 10 over 21 minus, let's say we have 3 over 2 divided by let's say 18 over 4. Then we have it, we are adding it to let's say we are having a bracket. Then we have 2 plus 1 over 2. Now we check the order B, O, D, M, A, S. Now this is going to be the same thing whether they are fractions or they are not fractions. You check if there is bracket, you do the bracket first. You check if there is off, you do it. You check if there is division, you do that. So looking at those ones that we have, which one should come first? Out of those ones we have division and multiplication, and we said that we can do any one first. So that means that anywhere you see division, do it. Anywhere you see multiplication, do it. But don't do addition and subtraction yet. So there is multiplication here, and there is division here, and there is bracket here. So you can be doing them as you are following, as you are going, but don't touch this addition and subtraction. So you are going to see what you are going to do now. So you are going to say this is going to be equal to, you simplify this, that will be 7 over 5 multiplied by 10 over 21 minus 3 over 2. You already know that this division will turn to multiplication, so it will become 4 over 18. Then plus, if you do this, 2 plus half is just 2 and a half. 2 plus half is just 2 and a half. Now if you don't want to do it that way, if you are adding a whole number and a fraction, the answer will just be the whole number together with the fraction. But if you don't want to do it that way, this 2 you can turn it to 2 over 1. That means change it to a fraction, then you add them together. Now if you turn it to a fraction, that means you have to find the LCM of 1 and 2. So what's the LCM of 1 and 2? That is 2. So how many 1? Now on top you have 2, you open a bracket, then plus, on top you have 1, you open a bracket. Now how many 1 can we find in 2? That is 2. And how many 2 can we find in 2? That is 1. So we put that one here. So this is going to become, now since we want to multiply this, what you do is you look for, is there a common number that can divide? No. Is there a common number that can divide? No. Is there a common number that can divide? Yes. So you say 7 here, 1, 7 here, that's 3. Is there a common number that can divide? Yes. So you say 5 here, 1, 5 here, that's 2. So on top you are left with 1 times 2. Below we are left with 1 times 3. Minus, you see that we didn't touch this minus, leave it like that. You do these ones too, these ones that are connected with multiplication. So is there a number that can divide? No. Is there a number that can divide? Yes. So you say 2 here, 2, 2 here, 9. Now across, is there a number that can divide? Yes. 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1. Also 3 here, 1. 3 here, that's 3. So on top you are left with 1 times 1. Below you are left with 1 times 3. Then plus, now 2 times 2 will give us 4. Plus 1 times 1 is 1 over 2. So this is what we are going to arrive at. But we are not done yet. So we are not done yet. What are we going to do next? We say this is 2 over 3 minus this is 1 over 3, then plus this is what? 5 over 2. Now there is no multiplication and division again. So you must always strive to remove the multiplication and division before anything. You must always strive to remove that multiplication and division. Then you can now do your normal addition and subtraction. So what do you do here? You find the LCM. So now what's going to be the LCM of 3, 3 and 2? Don't go and multiply them and go and say 3 times 3 times 2. No, that's not the LCM. So what you do is you pick them at once. Is there a number that can divide? No. But if you pick them 2, 2, there's a number that can divide. 3 can divide these 2. So that means that you are going to have, you want to look for the LCM of 3, 3 and 2. So these 2 together, 3 can divide them. So you just remove that 3. So you are left with 1, 1 and 2. Don't forget that you say 3, since 3 can divide these 2, you just say 3 in 3, that's 1. 3 in 3, that's 1. But 3 cannot divide 2, so you still leave that 2. So since there is no number that can divide again, then you just multiply everything. So the LCM will be 6. That will be 3 times 1 times 1 times 2. Now, how many? So you just do your 2. That's what is on top here. Then minus 1 is on top here. Then plus 5 is on top. Then you say, how many 3 can we find in 6? That is 2. How many 3 can we find in 6? That is 2. How many 2 can we find in 6? That is 3. So what are we going to have? We are going to have, that is 4 minus 2, then plus 15. So everything divided by 6. So now if you do 4 minus 2, that is 2. So you do 2 plus 15, that is 17 over 6. We are going to get 17 over 6. Now, so we are not done. So 17 over 6 is an improper fraction. So how many 6 can we find in 17? That is 2, which is 12, right? So we are left with 5. So you say 5 over 6. This is going to be our final answer. So this is like a very simple topic. Once we get it from now, you can move to more difficult ones. For example, those ones that involve algebraic fractions. And that is going to serve as like the basics, like our foundation in mathematics, so that whatever we are going to be doing in the future is not going to be that hard.